Hello, hello, hello. What is up? What is up? This is alertwolf here to bring you another DC Nation style review as I'm doing it on the movie right there, Superman Unbound. Check that out on Blu-ray. Now, this isn't an unboxing. I borrowed this from a friend. Obviously, the Blu-ray disc is inside. This is what you get with it. This is a DVD, and you get a black disc for the Blu-ray. Now, some of the special features on this disc include a montage of old school Superman episodes from the 90s, having to do with Supergirl, her origin, Brainiac and his origin, and one Brainiac attack episode, which is pretty good. A couple of featurettes are good. They also give you the trailer to Flash, or not the trailer, but they're making trailer type of thing for Flashpoint, which I do like. So, but let's get right into Superman Unbound. Obviously, this was based off the comic book, and it's not an exact adaptation of the comic where Superman and Supergirl fought Brainiac, but it was done well. And on that note, I'm fine with it. The slight changes they had to make in the story in order for it to be its own thing and not completely based in the comic, I'm completely fine with. The fact that Lois is dating Clark and not married, as they should be in the books by now, at that point in the comics, I'm fine with. And it was a secret, The fact that they didn't kill Superman's dad in this, I'm fine with that, or he didn't die as a result, and the battle didn't come to Smallville too much. I'm fine with that too. I'm also fine with, in this story, this is his first encounter with Brainiac. So it's kind of, again, it's a standalone thing. The introduction is pretty cool. We get Supergirl before we get Superman. I love how their color scheme's a little different. He's more like greenish blue, and she's more purpley blue in her costumes, and I think that's cool. Let's just go for the aesthetics. Finally, a yellow S on the back of his cape in a movie. I mean, there was one or two, but this looked great throughout the whole thing. I was like, wow, Superman. Because while Batman is mad enough to have a target on his chest, only Superman is mad enough to have a target on his chest and his back. That's how Superman rolls, because he's super. Thanks for asking. But, alright, let's get into the movie. So, basically, animation-wise, this movie was excellent, well animated. Again, I was impressed that they put the yellow S there. As far as story and pacing, the pacing in the story was pretty good. You didn't really feel too much lag, because in the midst of story and angst, there was good action. You also got voice acting. The voice acting in this was pretty good. And basically, this tells the story of Brainiac being an alien who cyberized and was trying to learn everything and then destroy everything in the universe. And he would keep, from planets he would destroy, he'd keep a bottled city, hence the bottled city of Kandor, which was the Kryptonian capital. Now, Krypton was the world he didn't destroy because obviously it was dying on its own. And this event traumatizes Supergirl to the point where she's a little brazen with her powers. And her point of view, I think, was well captured in this movie, which is, you may have grew up here, to Superman, and you're used to having your powers your whole life. So this is all foreign to you. But I grew up on Krypton, and I am not used to having my powers my whole life. I'm used to being helpless when terrorists or when things go down. And so there you go. That contrast of feeling powerless and traumatized, because she was there when Kandor fell. And by the way, there is a lot of blood and gore, or not gore, but there's a lot of blood in this and a lot of killing, because Brainiac kills people, and the little tentacle that goes in your mouth and like brain rapes you and kills you. That was cool. And it was also like a little scorpion, get over here. So I really dig that. And this movie also shows Superman failing. You know, he goes to fight him in space and fights him on a world and fails to save it, as he launches a missile in the sun that destroys the sun, thus destroying the world. Superman survives a planet explosion and a sun explosion. Just saying. And you know, at first he's really not a match for Brainiac. Brainiac is just pretty boss and powerful. I like that. I like how strong Brainiac is in this movie. I mean, Superman does get to womp on these things, and he eventually, you know, he gets captured, sent into Kandor. He finds out, this is a spoiler here, guys, finds out Supergirl's parents are still alive, and, you know, he ends up figuring out a way to save them. He saves one city. He doesn't destroy the spaceship, because there's many cities, and he just didn't have the room for it. And so he left them crippled and beat up and stuck, basically. And he hoped that would be enough. Well, obviously it wasn't, because the next thing you know, he's on Earth ready to wreak havoc. And these probes things are pretty powerful. And Superman goes to fight, and, you know, the whole thing is, this story is really not a Superman story, it's more of a Supergirl story. So her fighting through her demons, you know, using Superman as an example. And she does. She ends up going and helping, and now it's two super beings versus the rest, and there you go. So what am I going to grade this movie? Like I said, this movie is not an exact adaptation from the comics, and if you were looking for that, you would be disappointed by this film slightly, because it is not an exact representation. So on that one, I'd give it a 3. However, if you're just looking for a good Superman story and another great DC Nation movie, then I'm going to give this one easily a 5 out of 5. I mean, this is what I want out of the Superman movie. It had everything in it. From Lois being lippy, to from Clark being frustrated that he can't control the women in his life, to all that type of humor, to him getting back at that guy for being a douche. You know, all those things were funny to me, and I liked those little details. From Clark, you know, having to save the day and be the example he has to be, to all the characterization to really know Supergirl, and she wasn't some just pretty blonde character. We really got to know her well in this one movie, and I enjoyed it. I mean, not to say that the other movie with her in it wasn't cool, but I'm just saying this is a pretty good Supergirl Superman story, and I enjoyed it immensely. I'm not sure if it was better than the comic, but it's tough to do that. So anyway, so that's a 5 out of 5 for me. Go out, buy it, rent it, watch it, enjoy it. And this has been me, Alert Wolf, here telling you to click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is your buddy signing out.